Hi everybody, nice to see you. Thank you for coming to our presentation. We are Team Inspire, and our focus is social services in St. Jamestown. So I'm Marianne, this is David, this is Laura. We also have our team leader, Amira, over there, Han, Sylvia, Stefano, Stefano, and Sebastian. Okay, so we'll just start with a basic overview of the site. The actual demographics of the site is that there are about 17,000 people in this small area. There's actually an estimated 25,000 potentially, because only about 17,000 are registered. That's status from the Wellesley Institute. So there's 19 high-rise buildings on the site, ranging between 14 to 32 stories, and the immigrants are largely immigrants of Asian, South Asian, Russian, and Serbian origin. Most people tend to stay in the area for no more than about 4 or 5 years, which is actually pretty essential to how we're trying to approach this actual situation. So St. Jamestown was developed in the 19th century as a middle-class neighborhood with Victorian homes. In the 1960s, it was actually redesigned in kind of the same style as Regent Park. So it used Le Corbusier's towers in the park kind of idea. So it was supposed to be a modern tower in a field of green, and the idea was that it would be fully adopted by young professionals. These young professionals didn't really show up. They ended up going into suburbia instead, and the buildings became what we see today. Okay, so to get to the core problem of the situation is that due to the largely transient population, there is little community engagement or pride. What you end up getting is a situation that's almost like a tragedy of the commons, because the residents feel emotionally disconnected from the place they live. This lack of investment actually creates a public space where residents feel uncomfortable and fearful of their own neighborhood. So another issue is actually the density and the poverty in the site. This particular area is actually one of the highest population densities in Canada, and it's actually one of the poorest in the city of Toronto as well. This concentrated population ends up being a high concentration of people who are economically at risk. There's also issues of poor urban design and maintenance as well. But the underlying causes, as we discussed before, are really the fact that the population is there for no more than 4 or 5 years, so the place feels temporary. Personally, they have no reason to really invest their time or their money into the very place that they actually live. So this is our actual idea. Our project is called To and Through, and what we're really trying to do is, through grassroots innovations, create a meandering path through the heart of St. Jamestown. Next slide. So what we're trying to do is to create a large park space with a large pedestrian thoroughfare in the middle. The park space and the thoroughfares actually connect the people in the area to local features and services such as the subway, the library, the community center, and other things that are available in the area. And then this is just a quick little overview of our vision, our mission, and our objectives. The vision is to really utilize and maximize the use of existing spaces and services to promote local innovation, community engagement, to make a lasting change to both the neighborhood and the built environment. We're trying to encourage a sense of community ownership over the public spaces, which is a really difficult thing to do. But if we can do that, we would hopefully strengthen social and economic well-being in the St. Jamestown area. So the basic objectives, just to clearly state them, are firstly, to improve the aesthetics of the public spaces in the area of St. Jamestown. Next, to network existing infrastructure to promote community interaction and engagement. To improve the overall safety, to make it comfortable and accessible for both locals and tourists. And to also create a space that works as both a gathering place and just somewhere to go for families and community activities. So our 5-year vision includes festivals, art events, community events. Earlier on, you may have seen a little block that we highlighted. We call it the Howard block, but basically that area is up for redevelopment, and our proposal is actually to use that space with to make recommendations for minimum 25% green space and make the rest of the space low-rise mixed use between residential and commercial as well. So basically our goal is to socially and economically revitalize the area by creating interest and attractions.
I will introduce the pond. This is our social interactive spot. The reason that we call it the pond is because in nature, the pond is also the nature social hub. Some of the key features about our social spot architecturally is that it blends into the atmosphere. It makes it more aesthetically pleasing, taking away from the rigid buildings. Some of our interactive things about our pond, the information they provide social services, government services, job postings, not only in English, but it will also be multicultural. so recent people that have time to kind of can also understand as well. But these are located on our main entrances from our pathway to invite people from other sides of the community to explore what we have built. These are our campaign posters that promote what we want to see change in the community.
Okay, so this service map just illustrates how the path will connect existing services with new proposed services.
Okay, so now for our stakeholders, one of our core target we believe is Art City. We chose Art City because we believe that they are the heart of the project and they will push the whole community forward into creating the project that we're proposing. Some of the direct stakeholders are property owners and the municipal groups, and they benefit directly socially and economically. Our indirect stakeholders are everyone else, local artists, local businesses, and our project will provide a safer community, new social destinations, and local businesses and attractions. Now I will lead you to meet your typical family living in the community. Our first persona is a recently immigrated family. Some of the problems that they face are language barrier, unfamiliar environment, low income, and childcare. We believe that our program has the solutions for these problems, including multilingual information from kiosks providing government and social services, meeting other people in the community through our social activities and spots. Our path serves as landmarks and guides to other destinations. Our kiosk also promotes community events, and the path connects to local areas, residential areas, and recreational areas for kids to play in a safe environment. Our second persona is a recent graduate. Some of the problems that she faces are no experience, loneliness, and vulnerability to the area. We believe that we have a solution for this. Like I said before, our kiosk, including job postings, for the vulnerability, we believe that introducing a new, safer environment will make it more aesthetically pleasing, creating and also a safer environment as well. Our third persona is our senior citizen. Some of the problems that she faces is social isolation and dependent on caregivers. We believe that our program has the solutions for this by by promoting social change and creating more disability-friendly environment and community.
A few elements that may have been actually missed in our presentation is that our actual design strategy is not just to create a top-down strategy where we say we're going to create this space for these people. The idea is actually the innovative space because it will actually be designed by the people who will use it. For example, our pathways, you had discussion from like paving it with pennies to painting it to creating this beautiful space that is actually designed by the community. These will be art projects in themselves. Another detail is that the actual pods that will be distributed throughout the actual park space will have a graffiti wall on the back where locals will feel comfortable actually expressing themselves. Another plugin that we didn't mention was the kiosk will actually have like a little plug so people can come in, plug in their MP3 player, and there will be speakers embedded within the actual pods where they can actually express themselves and share the public space. You may have seen that one of the pods actually had that nice curved sloped back. That creates an acoustically comfortable space where people can actually listen to their music at a volume that really isn't that loud but still feel like they really are enjoying themselves and being themselves. So what we've tried to create is the pedestrian paths, the information kiosks, the improved green space, and the street decoration. We've tried to evaluate our different measures of success by looking at how we've met key features such as safety, security, community impact, how we use innovation, creativity, and these different measures to meet the goals and the challenges of this project. Thank you very much for coming. We just wanted to give a special thanks to our advisors, particularly Paul. He was wonderful in giving us amazing, excellent advice, and thank you. That's our presentation.